right. Yeah. So I am Deborah Leibowitz. I am the provost here at Quinnipiac University, and it is my absolute pleasure to declare Quinnipiac University's 2022 graduate commencement exercises officially open. Please stand for the national anthem, which will be performed by Taina Echevarria, class of 2021 and 2022.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and home of the brave?
Woo! All right, thank you. There's just the tip of the iceberg and the talent out in this crowd. All right, you can be seated. So I am honored to be here today with you to celebrate a traditional commencement ceremony outdoors on our beautiful quad. And and at least if the weather report is accurate, it looks like you're not going to be rained on. So, yeah, exactly. Knock on some wood. I don't know. Not that you have any. I'd like to take a moment because it's both my pleasure to open this ceremony, but also I just want to recognize the members of our platform party and let you know who's up here today. It consists of our commencement speaker, who you will meet in a few moments, deans, university administrators, president of the alumni board, and members of our board of trustees. And in that regard, I want to particularly acknowledge Brett Amendola, who is a member of our board of trustees and whose daughter, Olivia, I'm probably embarrassing you, is graduating here today for the second time. All right, so it is now my honor to present Dr. Judy Olian, the president of Quinnipiac University, who will bring you greetings on behalf of the university community.
Thank you, Provost Leibowitz, and a fabulous good morning. Morning. I have to say this is one of my favorite days, if not my favorite day of the year. It's a day that fills us with enormous pride and joy because we get to celebrate you, our graduates, and your amazing accomplishments as we mark one of the most special days and probably culmination of an unforgettable chapter in your lives. Let me first welcome our esteemed guest and speaker, a dear friend and partner to us at Quinnipiac, Hartford Healthcare President and CEO, Jeff Lax. We are so grateful that you joined us today and that you will share your wisdom and life story with all of us. Jeff will be introduced shortly, and I have to say what a wonderful partnership we have forged with Jeff and Hartford Healthcare. Now I'm going to ask our graduates to turn to the audience to give thanks where thanks are due to your loved ones, family, friends, and give them a huge round of applause. So get up, graduates, turn and thank them. And we all recognize Mom and Dad, siblings and friends that were there for you through thick and thin. And while you're thanking, I want you to also give a round of applause to our terrific faculty and staff who are here and who are not here for all they have done throughout your journey at QU, for the exceptional learning, living experiences that they have enabled during your time here at Quinnipiac. And I know many of you will remain friends with them for life. They will be your mentors for life. So let's give a big round of applause to our faculty and staff. Thank you. So now I turn to our graduates. We made it together. Some of you have been here for 5 or 6 years, or maybe even 7, through our graduate and accelerated degree programs. Others of you joined from other institutions around the country to continue your learning. In fact, in this graduating class, we have students who came from 80 different institutions and 30 states, ranging in age from 19 to 68. That is what you call lifelong learning. I congratulate every one of you for stretching yourself, for asking questions, for being ambitious to learn more. The knowledge, skills, and enlightened perspectives you'll be taking into the workforce are critical to continue to strengthen an intellectually advanced, economically growing, fact-based, and healthy society. You are impressive, and we are all impressed. You also contain a very unique perspective, a set of lived experiences these last few years that you now bring with you into your careers. As you weathered a pandemic while continuing in your grad studies, you've become quite familiar, pivoting on a dime with tremendous resiliency, juggling complex family needs, adapting to new models of learning and technology, considering how actions impact entire communities, and appreciating the importance of relationships and personal connections. And those experiences undoubtedly had lasting effects, some of which are continuing, others just becoming evident to you, to all of us. You had to discover within yourself perseverance, adaptability, creativity in finding work and family solutions, new sources of joy and opportunity. You became even closer to your family and to friends who might have lived with you. You showed compassion in the face of painful losses, and you also came to cherish what we had when things were normal. And now you'll embark on your next ambitious journey, defining what can be as you help shape the world. Like all of us, you'll draw on these experiences to become even more thoughtful, about your own and others' vulnerabilities, while reminded that ultimately we, and I mean the whole world, are interconnected and dependent on each other. There's a quote from an unknown author, but I like it, that says, "Experience is a cruel teacher. It gives us a test before presenting the lesson." Experience is a cruel teacher. It gives us a test before presenting the lesson. You were certainly tested. We all were, but you passed with flying colors, with grace, with courage. Now it's incumbent upon us to take what we've learned and apply it to not just our own journeys, but to consider the predicament of others, of the entire planet. And there is an urgent need to apply those life lessons as we watch with deep sadness as a war rages in Ukraine and as we witness the long emotional and global societal impacts of the pandemic. You've already demonstrated yourselves while at QU as caring members of communities far and wide. I've watched you speak up and take action for social justice. I've watched you give back to our neighbors and to our local communities through free health clinics and vaccination drives, providing consulting services to small business owners, partnering with the town of Hamden on environmental projects or sustainability initiatives. I've watched you be advocates for those in need, such as preparing tax returns for community members through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, VITA, or inspiring the future generation of female coders by teaching 6th through 12th grade girls how to code. As I look out on the quad today, I'm confident that you will lift the sky, helping bring new discoveries to life, making them broadly accessible, improving the quality of life of every person you touch in fields ranging from accounting, finance, biomedical sciences, business administration, to secondary teaching, cybersecurity, interactive media, physician's assistants, occupational therapy, social work, nursing, physical therapy, or gerontology, and more. Yes, there's a competition. As I close, please know that as you go out on your life's journey, you will always, always have a home here at QU. We hope you come back often, stay connected to the university, and even become a mentor for a future Bobcat who can learn from your own career journey. You're joining an alumni community with 60,000 strong alumni all over the world, and I encourage you to take advantage of that powerful and connected network. All of us at Quinnipiac will follow your path with great interest. We'll unabashedly brag about your successes, probably take some credit for them, and beam with pride about the great impact you're having in your chosen career and in the lives you lead. Congratulations to the class of 2022, a class where each of you is a Bobcat for life. You have already made your mark, and we can't wait to see how you continue to change the world. Congrats.
All right, it is now my pleasure to introduce Tom Ellett, who's the Chief Experience Officer, to introduce our commencement speaker.
Congratulations, graduates. It is an honor to be here with you this afternoon to welcome our keynote speaker for commencement, your graduation. Jeffrey A. Flax is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Hartford Healthcare, Connecticut's most comprehensive healthcare network, with more than 400 locations serving 185 cities and towns. Hartford Healthcare is a community of caregivers engaging in developing a coordinated, consistently high standard of care. Before joining Hartford Healthcare, Flax held leadership roles in health systems in New York and Detroit. He's been honored by the National Association of Hispanic Healthcare Executives for his leadership and appointed to the American Hospital Association's Health Systems Council. He also serves as co-chair of the governor's COVID-19 Health System Response Team. A native of Connecticut, Flax earned his Bachelor of Science at Ithaca College and his master's degree in Health Services Administration at the George Washington University. It is my distinct privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Jeffrey A. Flax.
Thank you, President Olian. Good morning, deans, faculty, staff, and honored guests. Most of all, congratulations to the most important people here, today's graduates, and to all the loved ones who upheld, guided, and supported you so this day could become a reality. For some of you, this reality may come as a relief. For others, it may come as a surprise, especially with all that we've been through. I'll share my own surprise. To be standing here today before you, I'm not even graduating, but I grew up in Orange, just less than 15 miles from this campus, and I can assure you that none of my fellow classmates, and certainly not my fourth grade teacher, right, Mrs. Hackerud, could have possibly imagined. They could not possibly have imagined me standing in front of you today. You could see Mrs. Hackerud, she didn't always appreciate my enthusiasm, or the fact that I didn't color inside the lines maybe as well as she would like. But that's okay, right? What's most important is you have to be your authentic self. So I'm proof. I'm proof that anything is possible, that if you have a personal vision, you believe in who you are, you have to believe in what you're capable of accomplishing. So look at me, Mrs. Hackerud. I'm the commencement speaker at Quinnipiac University, right? Now, I've been waiting 40 years for this moment in some ways. So each of you, you chose your own unique path. You chose Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac University, a world-class university of great imagination and ambition, a place of higher learning that is not afraid to disrupt itself or to work to create something that is new and better. Class of 22, you are the best educated, the most diverse, the most technologically savvy generation ever. And that's the product of two things: your own ambition unleashed and the vision of this very special place and people. Today, we celebrate the boundless possibilities and we respect a long and revered tradition. Despite our attire, right, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real deal. And I'm sure you've heard at every graduation since you've left middle school that commencement means beginning. So I'm so honored, I'm so humbled to share with you this extraordinary, important day of beginnings for you. You have so much to look forward to. And it's my wish for each of you that you enjoy beautiful, challenging, and rewarding lives. My small role this morning is not to tell you how to live them successfully, although I'm certain that it's probably the secret hope of every commencement speaker. But this memorable morning, I want to share a few insights on how our lives, yours and mine, have actually intertwined. You see, you and I have lived through two world-changing events. They're like bookends for us. Yours from your childhood to this miraculous moment, and mine from the beginning of my professional career to today. The first occurred over the course of frantic hours when many of you were just kids. You may have been watching Dora the Explorer or The Fairly Odd Parents when it happened. Your parents, in fact, probably switched the channel to Nickelodeon so you wouldn't see what was being broadcast and to spare you the coverage that was on at network TV. But the images of that day, no doubt, are seared in your memory, and they are in all the worlds. The second event, right, it dawned slowly, ominously, reaching our consciousness just a little more than 2 years ago. It's colored your college experience, it's altered your social life, and it's changed the way that we work in ways that we never could have imagined. We're all still living through it, and we have no idea when it may fully end. And I'm talking, as you've guessed, about September 11th, 2001, and the coronavirus pandemic that is still with us. Now, I know we're gathered here today to mark a moment of immense joy, a day of laughter, and a day of celebration. And let's face it, talking about a national crisis and a global pandemic are not exactly the cheerful themes, but they are very real, and you are very ready. So I'm hoping to share a few very important lessons that we can pull from these experiences, paths that we have both traveled. In both events, we have countless examples of people staring into the abyss of the unknown, figuring out things even as their world tumbled around them, literally in the case of the Twin Towers, and figuratively for COVID. But these lessons, right, they may offer some help for some hope as you begin, as you commence down your next path. So just a little while ago, you walked here to the quad. You marched in slowly and with pride. The moment requires it. That's part of this great tradition. My first message for you is this: there will be moments when you will need to run, not walk. There will be situations where you need to go in, not away. So let me just start by describing a beautiful September morning in Lower Manhattan. The sun had risen over the East River. It had shone so brightly over Greenwich Village. I was, unfortunately, in a meeting in the boardroom where we were planning our capital and our operating budgets. This was my first real executive job in healthcare. I'd been in the role just a few months. In fact, I'd turned 30 years old, and I was now working at St. Vincent's Medical Center in Manhattan. It was located at 12th Street and 7th Avenue, to be exact. St. Vincent's was the nearest trauma center to the Twin Towers. My colleagues and I, we heard an unsettling bang. And as we scrambled outside, the chaos around us was otherworldly. Exactly 2 miles to our south, the World Trade Center now was spewing with thick gray and black smoke from the North Tower. We looked up in absolute disbelief when right in front of us, while we're standing on 7th Avenue, we saw an airliner, the second one, United Flight 173, fly directly and to strike the South Tower. You all know that horrific image. You're probably playing it back in your mind right now. I learned a few very important lessons that day, and in many ways the days that followed. Immediately, my colleagues and I rushed to the emergency room entrances. We ran to stand outside the ambulance bay doors. We were grabbing wheelchairs, stretchers, IV poles, blankets. We were waiting for the ambulances and their casualties. Within minutes, the sidewalks of 7th Avenue, they became extensions of the hospital. They were lined with beds and caregivers. There was literally a sea of white coats and people in green and blue scrubs. Off-duty staff members, they did not wait to be summoned. They were coming streaming in, running into the crisis. Rank did not matter at all that day, from surgeons to emergency department physicians, nurses and therapists, environmental staff workers, more than 350 volunteers who joined us. Every single person knew that she or he had a job to do and that they could contribute. No one knew exactly what was happening, but everyone knew what needed to be done, me included. I saw a team unlike any that had ever existed before. There were no departments. There were no executives. There were no subordinates. I saw a group of highly committed human beings who were sharing one purpose. They proved that nothing, not even an unthinkable tragedy, can stand in the face of such personal conviction and commitment to do the right thing when it mattered most. With a common and compelling goal, selfless courage, agility, and teamwork, you can blast through bureaucracy, break down barriers, set aside unhelpful hierarchies. You can even forget fear. It does not take a crisis or a tragedy to summon the secret to success. It takes a sense of urgency and the right people heading into the right direction. As the saying goes, right, tough times don't last, tough people do. So my point for each of you graduates is, as you continue your journey down your own path, is that you know that when there is a crisis, and you will face them, you remember not to give in to the impulse to run away. Especially in a crisis, it's your special talents that are needed most. That is, in fact, when you need to run in. Now, I know that many of you are sitting here with your cell phones in your pockets. It may even be in your hands. And while they're probably silenced, and then I do thank you for that, let me use them as a prompt for my next message. Know that in your life there will be times when you will hear a call and you will have to decide to answer the call. Let's go back to that horrible day when all routine work, the busyness of everyday workplace activity, It had ended so that everyone could focus on the real work, caring for the injured, the dying, the frightened, and the grief-stricken. There was no blueprint for this. There was no textbook. There was no manual to turn to. Everyone was operating on instinct. The only rule that mattered was to just do the right thing. So as Building 7 of the World Trade Center collapsed and another cloud of smoke and rubble around 5:30 p.m., I was joining others, helping where I could, how I could. I was initially charged with setting up the Family Information Center. We took over the student union at New School University. And in that moment, we had to build a system to let their loved ones know if their survivor, if their loved one, the person they cared about, was on the survivors list, and if they were being treated in our hospitals. And then to see one of the worst things I'd ever saw in my entire life, tragically to tell people when they weren't on the survivors list. At some point in that late afternoon, a social worker from the Archdiocese of New York, who was working with me in the center, came to me, and she asked me if I would join her to go down to Ground Zero to help her look for someone that she was told might still be alive and be down there. She was so desperate, as we all were. She wanted to do something, anything, to help. As I prepared to do so, I asked myself, really, what could I do? And yet, I knew I had to go with her. And in that moment, I had to answer the call to action. It was a call to be present. I was indelibly changed by what happened that day. I was so privileged to serve alongside an incredible team who demonstrated extraordinary heroism and unbelievable courage. And to this day, I take immense pride and comfort and solace that we were able to provide to the patients and families and the loved ones and all the first responders who we cared for that day. On your path, my advice is that you need to answer the call. It may come from a colleague, it may be a situation, and more often than not, it's going to happen at a moment in a time that you can least expect it. And yet, you will know it when you hear it. Answering it could literally change your life, and it will fuel your own calling. So now flash forward with me. Now nearly 2 decades. We all initially heard about the first faint warnings of a fearful virus in China, and I found myself in the early evening of March 13th, 2020, I found myself in front of a sea of television cameras at the first media briefing for the state of Connecticut. We had hastily arranged it at Hartford Hospital. We had just admitted our first COVID-19 patient, an 81-year-old woman. I'd been the CEO of Hartford Healthcare at that point for just a few months. And it became really clear, really fast, that we had never faced anything quite like this. Our brilliant infectious disease clinicians and other heroes were going as fast as humanly possible to plan and prepare and respond to what was in front of us. But this virus, I mean, we all know this, it was such a total mystery. I mean, remember those early days where we were making cloth masks? We were seeing once-stocked grocery store shelves as barren as those in third world countries. Now imagine for a moment what it was like to be in our hospitals. Our storerooms were completely depleted of masks, gloves, and face shields. We had patients who were in tents. Amazingly and tragically, we had bodies who were stuck in refrigerated trailers. Right, these were real concerns. This quickly became our new reality. And yet, at the same time, I felt oddly prepared for the pandemic. Why? Because once again, I saw colleagues doing whatever they needed to do to make this work. Creativity and ingenuity were not only encouraged, they were essential. And if something didn't work, we just simply tried something new, and it often occurred within hours of the failed attempt. We built field hospitals, testing sites were stood up immediately. We had amazingly brilliant clinicians who would take ventilators, who traditionally were so scarce in this moment, and they would care for one person, and created the capacity to share the ventilator to care for 2 people. Teams worked tirelessly, and they sourced such needed supplies and equipment from all over the world and as much quantity as they could. We, at that moment, were taking stock, literally, on the hour, every single day. There was no course. There was no training. There was no manual for this work. Now, I realize you've spent a small fortune here on textbooks and materials getting to this momentous occasion, but I'm going to share a little secret. There will be times when that book either doesn't exist or it certainly doesn't apply. So when that happens, trust your instincts and go forward on the sum of your own experiences and draw upon them as only you can. On your path, know that there are times when you must literally throw away the book or perhaps even write a new one. The lessons of the first tragedy, the one we both experienced on 9/11, prepared us for the second, this global pandemic. I mean, to be clear, we're not out of the woods yet with COVID, and it's not done with us. But I am still confident, and I'm proud to say that the agility and the ability of these amazing teams, it has to date saved the lives of tens of thousands of COVID patients across my organization, Hartford Healthcare alone. So my last piece of advice to each of you is, on your path, don't be afraid to write your own book. Take stock and tap into your own personal emergency warehouse. Prior experiences, reliable friends, an optimistic outlook, a special reserve of energy of goodwill. Even with all of that, there's going to be times when you too will have absolutely no idea of what's ahead or how to handle it. But trust me, you will find everything you need within you. Quinnipiac's model of engagement and experiential learning are key aspects in your emergency stockpile. Your years of training, your discipline have not only made you smart, but they've made you strong. If that can be true of me, I am certain it will be true for you. Unleash your talent and your ambition. From where I sit, this is a safe bet since each of you have already been tested and you have performed brilliantly. Your most demanding non-credit class has been Pandemic 101. You've kept each other safe. You've found new ways to stay close and connected. You've consoled those troubled by sadness and uncertainty. You've wiped down. You've masked up. You've zoomed in. You did it together. You've got this. Over these past 2 decades, our world has largely been defined by these 2 events. And yes, they are tragic beyond comprehension. But where there is humanity, there is hope, always. On this day, I offer each of you my very best wishes for a brilliant and fulfilling future. I also wish you challenges and the confidence to overcome them. Because class of 2022, challenges will come our way whether we wish them to or not. How we choose to respond to them, that is what matters most. As I said at the start, this is not a dress rehearsal. As you journey on your path, I hope you remember these 3 things. First, run in, not away, and answer the call. Second, when you face significant challenges, don't be afraid to write your own book. And last, as Quinnipiac suggests, and I'm looking at it on the building right now, unleash your ambition. And always be hopeful and be brave. You've already been tested. You are more prepared, more resilient than you know. Thank you so much. I'm so honored and humbled to share this day with you. Congratulations. Go Bobcats. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Many thanks, Jeff, for your incredible service in Connecticut, nationally, and also for your partnership with Quinnipiac. It is now my pleasure, and before I introduce the next speaker, what I also want to say is you should have water under your chair, because I see you flagging, fanning yourselves out there. There's also more water behind you back at the blue tents behind you over there. There's some shade over on the sides over there, and also a little bit over here and a little bit in the back. So if there are people who want to do any of, I know it's a little harder for the grads, but especially for families out there, if I just want to let you know that those resources are there. It is now my pleasure to introduce Alyssa Massaros, who is the president of the Graduate Student Council. She is graduating today with an MBA with a concentration in data analytics, and she is going to offer her welcome to the group.
Thank you, Provost Leibowitz. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome all distinguished guests, Board of Trustees, President Olian, Provost Leibowitz, faculty, staff, friends, family members, and most importantly, our graduating class of 2022. There is so much happening in the world today, it's easy to be uncertain or anxious. However, there must be a way to ensure our success. As a very, very soon to be graduate of the MBA Data Analytics Program, School of Business, woo-woo! Yeah. I'd like to share a brief excerpt from an article on predicting graduate student success published by Wilson and Hardgrave. Prediction of graduate student GPA and/or success or failure risk is obviously a difficult process. As seen from the literature review, the highest R-squared was 0.19 when using regression analysis, and the discriminant analysis study reported earlier classified 64% accurately. I'm just kidding. That's not going to be my speech. We can relate to one thing. We're here to celebrate our hard work and success. You deserve a round of applause. Collectively, the class of 2022 has shown perseverance and grit over decades of adversity. 9/11, economic recessions, making progress with the social justice movement, and uncovering what still needs to be done, a global pandemic, the start of the endemic, the invasion of Ukraine, the list goes on. And let us not forget, situations and events are occurring with our own lives. Despite it all, we have managed to successfully arrive here through navigating different paths at our commencement ceremony to celebrate our accomplishments together. So, what variables brought us here? Was it strength, resilience? Was it drive and determination? Perhaps it was the gentle nudge from family or friends. No matter the variables, we must look back on our own journeys and fully acknowledge how strong we have been. It is important to strike a balance between acknowledging our successes and strength with humility and gratitude. We are extremely fortunate to cross a stage and accept an accolade symbolizing sacrifice, hard work, but most importantly, opportunity. The truth is, there are people in this very country and all over the world who will never have the opportunities we have to aspire, to dream, and to celebrate achievements such as we are today. Opportunity defined is a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. Opportunities need to be taken advantage of in order to succeed and thrive. Sometimes opportunities will present themselves, and other times we'll need to forge our own. If and when an opportunity transforms into an accomplishment, don't hesitate to celebrate it. Let's be real, we are Bobcats, so success is bound to happen. Should an opportunity not work out, do not label it as a failure, for failure should never be accepted as the end result. The overall experience can provide valuable life lessons, leading to achievements larger than ever imagined. You may have heard of Walt Disney. He was fired in 1921 for not being creative enough. Imagine that. You may have heard of Data, a company described as a failure, making only a couple of dollars. However, one co-owner went on to become a self-made billionaire by the age of 31. Maybe Bill Gates and Microsoft rings a bell. The point is, these are just a couple of examples that began as failures, but ultimately transformed into radical innovations. Remember the regression analysis report from the beginning of my speech? This is what's really important to remember. We control the exact independent variables capable of predicting our own success. While we should be excited for what's next in our lives, it's okay to be a little scared or nervous like I am right now during this speech, but these feelings and emotions, coupled with what we've learned here at Quinnipiac, will help us perform at our best and will guide us to opportunities fueling future accomplishments. Speaking of opportunities, take a selfie with me, guys. Woo! Nice, nice, nice. All right, so thank you for your time and attention. In case you zoned out, please remember, take advantage of and create opportunities. Never let adversity sidetrack your goals or what you want to accomplish. And finally, Always take time to appreciate and celebrate every success. Let today be the first of many successes in the new chapter of your life. One last time, congratulations to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Alyssa. All right, so as we open this, the main event here, the conferral of the degrees, I have to say that I think PT and OT, it seems, are going to give everyone else a run for their money on the cheer. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Okay, and I have to say, PT and OT are not the biggest groups in this audience here graduating. So exactly. So I don't know. I think some of the rest of you have some work to do, but it is now my privilege to begin the conferral of the degrees. Woo! And we will start with the College of Arts and Sciences, and so it is my privilege to introduce Dr. Adam Roth, who is the Dean of the college, and Dr. Wes Renfro, the Associate Dean, who will introduce the Arts and Sciences candidates for degree.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Science and Molecular and Cell Biology please approach the stage? Marshals, please direct candidates to the platform. Jason Moraes Atilho. Kiara Bahari. Alyssa A. Barber. Joseph P. Batiglia. Matthew Cutler Besser. Amanda Nicole Bradbury. Cole Joseph Caputo. Christina Marie Cardino. Peter E. Danison. Ashley Elizabeth DeVoe. Erica Marie Deneen. Samantha Taylor Falcioni. Alyssa Marie Foella. Michaela Christine Harrison. Alexa Rose Eleanor Herzog. Sarah Jean Jaggers. Michelle Charlotte Ladd. Daniel Scott Lenchner. Daniel is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award for the Master of Science in Molecular and Cell Biology. Daniel Robert Latendry. Devin Allen Naidu. Prem Patel. Thomas Anthony Perry. Sean Matthew Ricard. Sean is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award for the Master of Science in Molecular and Cell Biology. Riza Rondon. Stephen Andrew Rotatori. Shavinder Singh Bagania. Emily Christine Soya. Lauren Catherine Sweeney. Emily Christine Thompson. Brianna Eileen Wyman. I will now read the names of the candidates who are attending virtually. Sophia Elizabeth Davis, Jessica Ann Grossman, James Ryan Heuschkel, Margaret Mary Mirabella, Jerry A. Mira.
Will the candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present from the College of Arts and Sciences the candidates for the Master of Science in Molecular and Cell Biology.
Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Science, Molecular and Cell Biology, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, everyone, and you can move your tassels.
All right, you can be seated. All right, School of Business, you ready? I don't know, I still think PT and OT have you beat. Okay, all right, let's hear it. So it is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Holly Rader, the Dean of the School of Business, and Dr. Delisa McKee, Assistant Dean, who will introduce the business candidates for degree.
All right, will the candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration please approach to the stage? Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Thank you. Alexis Juliana Ajiza. Anna Piro Allen. Lindsay Ann Allen. Mary Rose Allerton. Alexandra Marie Alvarez. Olivia Catherine Amendola. Alyssa Lynn Arena. Tinbita Hermes Asfa. Gina Nicole Aletta. Emily Ann Barbosa. David Francis Berry Jr. Kevin Nemet Begas. Brianna Lynn Bermudez. Liliana Betchart. Katerina Alexandra Bilchek. Katerina is the recipient for the Brahms Scholar Award. Alyssa Biondo. Nathaniel Charles Bowler. Logan Patrick Brandriff. Nicole Bruder. Sydney Kate Bruner. Claire Murphy Butler. Juan Manuel Calderon. Brianna Capristo. Brandon Patrick Carroll. Giovanni Efrain Casillas. Melina Castro. Samantha Catania. Pedro Antonio Ciza. Michael Cusado. Sean Patrick Cobb. Christopher Patrick Cohen. Michael Ernest Coletti. Andrew Constantoris. Brendan Michael Curran. Andrew Datillo. Daniel Dalton. Gianna Del Vescovo. Allison Jo Demersion. Brendan O'Brien Desmarais. Maeve Ellen Despotopoulos. Mackenzie DeWeese. Brian Andrew Diamond. Matthew James Dion. Andrew Lee Dixon. Darian Dua. Jack Hunter Ebert. Taina Marie Echeverria. Mark W. Esposito. Rudy Estevez. Ryan Kazera. Michael Jacob Ezrati. Alexa Cara Ferrantino. Slow down a little bit. Jake Michael Festa. Daniel Lazar Fagan. Nick Fiorentina. Kieran Patrick Flattery. Timothy Joseph Flynn. Cameron Johnson Formica. Stephen Brian Falgu. Michael Graffenstein. Peter John Fischetti Jr. Simone Anye Foster. Nicholas Fuller. Timothy James Friedman. Matthew Gabriel Gallo. Alexander Avery Gates. Jillian Reed Gates. Vincent Michael Anthony Gazzillo. Brendan Geary. Christopher F. Giorgio. Kirsten Ashley Grant. Megan Elizabeth Haddad. Bradley Meshkin Hagan. Stephen P. Halvatsis. Christopher Harlan Hecht. Tanya Michelle Hennigan. Ryan Joseph Hilton. Barbara Hrinakova. Alyssa Dendiel. Ryan Michael Callagher. William Jackson Hurlbert. Catherine Pham Candu. Gerald Richard Keller II. Abdullah Job. Alexander Edward Kalfian. Jack Thomas Kiernan. David Kim. Caroline King. Jake Vincent Kolb. Gretchen Ann Crone. Tessa Mary Lagadich. Ryan Francesco Leone. Jovan Lomax. Justin Michael Lowenbein. Luke Ryan McMillan. Give me a second. Kendall Melissa Major. Carly Rose Majoros. Ian Malik. Dominic Paul Marcella. Okay. Nigel Margetson. John Hunter Marsh. Brendan Scott Martin. Juliana Tara Masiria. Leica Matthew. Francesco Mazzella. Michaela Sky McGill. Christopher Stephen McDonis. Alyssa Massaros. Nicole Dawn Migliozzi. Dustin Robert Moffrey. Jack Thomas Malloy. Matthew Benjamin Morales. Andrew Pierce Moskowitz. Matthew Robert Morotzik. Matthew is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence for the Master of Business Administration. Alyssa Catherine Murphy. Camilla Lucille Nella. Ryan Alexander O'Connor. Connor Seneca Odell. John D. Oliveira. Cassidy Jacqueline Osher. Hey, how's it going? Miles Anthony Owens. James R. Palatini. Nicole Maria Palawatza. Anthony Joseph Palladino. John Frederick Pesca. Peter Pellegrino. Meredith Noel Piazza. Alexa Angela Piro. Giuseppe Pescatelli. Heather Nicole Popovics. Nicholas Carlo Perazzi. Jake Francis Prado. Maya M. Porokovic. Tyler Michael Pine. Kyle Stanley Maves. That's phonetic. Ian Ostberg. Alyssa Ann Quavelli. Joseph Giovanni Ragno. Aiden J. Rausch. Heidi Elizabeth Reineman. Rachel Joy Reyes. Brenna Catherine Rose. Jonathan Joseph Rosenblum. Margaret Gillespie Ross. Rachel Sonia Rousseau. Natalie Rusina. Lauren Marie Santos. Griffin Jack Scaglia. Catherine Amanda Shoup. Taylor Yvonne Sherwood. Ria Kaur Sethi. Benjamin Zachary Seibert. Ryan Silvar. Robert Joseph Sloan. Philip Nicholas Sparacino. John Connor Stull. Nicole Colleen Sweeney. Zachary William Swilling. Ryan Christopher Tassetta. Caitlin Marie Taddeo. Gregory Michael Tice. Tyler Joseph Tash. Adam Zachary Tolan. Benjamin Joseph Toscano. Amanda Tully. Anthony. That part. Michael Anthony Ulich. Eric Michael Vandermeer. Dominique Gabriella Vasile. Chase Christian Verdia. Christine Grace Villarino. Zachary Operman. Kevin Patrick Wagner. Brittany Wall. Ryan Robert Wanamaker. Hannah Ward Tulo. Benjamin Owen Weber. John Howard Westerman. Avery Sullivan York. Julia Elizabeth Young. Zara Jordan Zeigerman. Stephen Reed Zindel. Tanisha Thomas Asbury. I will now ask the candidates for PMBA to approach the stage. Professional Master of Business Administration. Jahaya Balagun. Patrick E. Clifford. Charles Peter Dreo. Jason Michael Galvin. Charlotte S. Gargiulo. Jonathan M. Isepi. Jaya Jane. Hayes. Okay. Heather Ann Kydell. Damian Tyler Lane. Christopher Gary Kishimoto. Jane Elizabeth McWilliams. Azra Mulamovic. Robert Angelo Muto. Ryan Petnio. Teresa R. Pescatelli. Teresa is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence, Professional Master of Business Administration. Carla P. Rennie. Patricia Mary Scalisi Kruger. Corinne L. Taylor. E. Za Tet. I will now read the names of those candidates participating virtually. Amy Babbage, Alyssa Joanne Baldiga, Elena Marie Bocchicchio, Samuel Alfred Botwin, Matthew Anthony Casso, Mark Maurice Castonguay, Marcus Chorney, Christopher William Kokovesis, James Bradford Cohen, Carlos Chuxte, Delvone Anthony Davis, Alexis Ray Evon, Kristen Elizabeth Fite, Louis William Fumlagetti, Matthew Gunther, Jacqueline Nicole Harper, Brendan Allen Gillay, Christopher James Johnson, Alana Grace Cusilius, Albert Changjia Lee, Kyle Christopher Little, Laura Lundblad, Patrick Ryan Lynch, Sergio E. Maffetone, Zachary Thomas Metza, Nicholas Price, Olivia M. Pranetta, Joni Chuteza, Gianna Rose Remo, Theodore Louis Ruggieri, Daniel R. Schultz, Client Edwin Surway, Kelsey Lynn Slade, Katie Diane Tabin, Joseph Tansey, Jessica Nicole Tybalt, Riley Mastro Turner, Hunter Tweed, Philip A. Vermiglio, Carissa Marie Whedon, Alexander Joseph Whalen, David Robert Bina, Joshua Caleb Booz, Jared Scott Brindell, Catherine Elizabeth Cabana, Vanessa Ann Christie, Allison Kohlberg, Michael Patrick Davidson, Jake DeLuca, Oliheri Thomason Ezomo, Jessica Fix, Karen Fleming, Travis G. Gomes, Scott Haggerty, Jason Scott Kaufman, Jennifer Catherine LeMay, Catherine Jennifer Landry, Rebecca Liang, Michael Joseph Lavello, Catherine A. McCauley, Andrea Lynn Martinez, Kelly Matoro, Ryan M. McAuliffe, Thomas Monfort, Joseph Tomi Musante, Cassandra Marie Nelson, Nicole Olette, Allison Penny, Ria Puka, Stephanie Nicole Sacco, Lauren L. Schwartz, Matthew Christian Stein, Quentin Marshall Swan, Samantha Cohen Tamulis, Derek Tracy, Connor Wells Wallace, Christine Kelly Walsh, Jonathan Delvey Worm, Chelsea Warner, Michael Edward Workus.
I ask the candidates for the degree of a Master's in Business Administration to please stand. Madam President, I have the honor of presenting to you from the School of Business the candidates for the degree of a Master's in Business Administration.
Thank you, Dean Rader. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Business Administration, MBA, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, everyone. Great accomplishment.
Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Accounting from the School of Business please approach the stage? Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Accounting. All right. Alyssa Marie Boucher. Bridget Mary Boynes. Jonathan Edward Brigatti. Tanner Jacob Brochat. John Robert Clark. John Robert Clark is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Science in Accounting. Carolyn Faye Furman. Danielle L. Clotterman. Rebecca Alice Knight. Daniel Joseph Margolis. Karina Noel McCartan. Jillian Rachel Mintz. Caitlin Ellen Williams. Chalyeta Amitlari. Okay. Now have the candidates for degree of Masters of Science Business Analytics please approach the platform. Terrence Alexander Boyd. William Jake Hobbs. Nina Lillian Campbell. Marina Celentano. Liam Kaplan. Javier Casoles Monyor. Michael Catazano. David G. Collins. Kylie Gethings. Kelsey Nicole Irons. Erica Lynn Kelly. Jillian Mabah Insu. Reem Saad. Reem is a recipient for the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Science in Business Analytics. Brendan Less. Joseph Peter Malazzo. Umberto Padilla. James Russell Vandewater. Beekman Schaefer. Next, I call forward the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Organizational Leadership from the School of Business. Sharon Deepu Eep. Taylor Hine. Marissa S. Gullen. Stephen Sweet. Lori Lamson. Sandra R. Masterpetra. Sandra is a recipient for the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Science, Organizational Leadership. Catherine Porter. Samantha K. Romano. Now I will read the names of the students who are participating virtually. Max Adams. Sarah Adams. Andrew Christian Davis. Anthony Louise Patella. Sean Gregory Dacey. Charles Degas. Kylie Elaine Gethings. Joshua Hanley. Eric A. Mante. John Avery Mezzanote. Peter James Michelizzi. Alexandra Jordan Peak, Alexander James Rao, Jeremy Schreiber, Catherine R. Strong, Jewel Candace Wright, Andrew Yaw, Stephanie Broomer, Carissa Sinelli, Victoria D'Agostino, Veronica Michelle Fisher, Cindy Dubell, Rose Baca Gerber, Anne Camille Garcia, Caitlin Elizabeth Grant, Vanessa Maria Gazzardi, Megan Elizabeth Caswindick, Lauren Kellner, Brian J. Kelly, Ashley N. LaPlante, Casey Quinn, Kristen Ribera, Kelly Jean Rigby, Matthew Soischer, Charles Thompson III, Darlene Suzanne Vanderbush, Melanie Siobhan Williams.
I ask the candidates from the School of Business for the degree of Masters of Science to please stand. Madam President, I have the honor of presenting to you from the School of Business candidates for the degree of the Masters in Science.
Thank you, Dean Rader. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Science with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Move your tassel.
All right, let's give it up for the School of Business graduates. So it is now my pleasure to ask Dean Chris Rausch of the School of Communications to come forward and introduce the candidates for degree.
Will the candidates for the degree of the Master of Arts in Cinematic Production Management, our inaugural class for this program, please approach the stage? Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Emily Renee Blanchette. Jesse Michael Bourbeau. Danielle Marie DeMauro. Danielle is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Arts in Cinematic Production Management. Ethan Joseph Martin McCabe. Sarah Mae Sewell. I will now read the name of the candidate who is participating virtually. Sydney M. Wantour. I ask the candidates to rise. I'll wait till they get to their chairs. Don't sit down. I ask the candidates to rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Communications candidates for the degree Master of Arts in Cinematic Production Management.
Dean Rausch, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts in Cinematic Production Management with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Move your tassels.
I am pleased to introduce the candidates for the degree of Master of Science from the School of Communications. We begin with the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Interactive Media. Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Jacqueline Corey Bunch. Brooke Ariel Cohen. Katie A. Crowell. Aaron Francis Dean. Jennifer Elizabeth Dupre. Emma Mary Frisbee. Melinda Lene Garza. Joshua Daniel Guerrero. Joshua is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence, Master of Science in Interactive Media and Communications. Catherine Ann Iorio. Shane Xavier Joseph. Gabrielle Elisa Light. Shannon R. Luker. Brianna Michelle Mejia. Nicholas Charles Melanson. Gianna Nicole Petrocelli. Carly Rose Flager. Sylvia Belinda Perez Alvarado. Amanda Leanne Roth. Michelle McNeil Ryan. Shika K. Shaw. Farwa Shamsi. Ilana Rose Sherman. James Weir. Julia Rose Zoldner. Next, I will call forward the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Journalism. Simon McKenna Brady. Roberto Casillas Chavez. Miguel Angel De La Torre. Justin Tyler Deegan. Emily A. DeSalvo. Emily is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Science in Journalism. Danielle Marie Filardi. Patrick Arthur Flatley. Eric Michael Kerr. Stephen D. Martozzi. Andrew Myers. Owen Mitchell. Zachary J. Nunez. Brendan Gerard O'Sullivan. Garrett Elizabeth Reich. Sydney A. Reynolds. Thomas Cernercia. Jessica Ann Gable Sims. Kylesia Deja Smith. Matthew Saporsky. Connor John Ulathorn. Brittany K. Wilbur. Lauren Catherine Yarnall. Lauren is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence, Master of Science in Sports Journalism. Next, I call forward the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Public Relations. Isabel Rose Agricola. Gabriela Suarez Alvarez. Emma Rose Atkinson. Matthew Ryan Bruin. Nicole Elizabeth Carter. Michael Robert Clement. Katie Ann Dansereau. Katie is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence, Master of Science in Public Relations. Fiona Elizabeth Duell. Mary Dudani. Claire Alyssa Faulkner. Michaela Elizabeth Gagnon. Andrew Davis Garfield. Alexander James Goyette. Emily Peyton Griffin. Monica Victoria Rincon Hart. Cassandra Helen Harvey. Simon Hillinger. Molly Beth Koska. Kathleen Emily Lecco. Juliana Lepore. Isabella Miller Lugo. Katerina Dawn Lusnia. Elizabeth Grace Marculier. Camila Paz Maturana. Samantha L. McCleary. Kelsey Mary Mestris. Alyssa Nicole Nauman. Laura Eudice Perite. David Robert Rooney. Jared Shower. Emmanuel Segarra Otero. Mahi Sugebo. Felicia Christine Thomas. Shannon Claire Tierney. Patricia Cecilia Toussaint. I will now read the names of the candidates participating virtually. Julia Catherine Anderson. Olawasola Awujidu. Patrick Casey Baker. Stephanie Cabral. Patrick James Foley. Drew Furtado. Anya Harrell. Stephanie Hatala. Juliette Page Holzman. Eric John Martineau. Bailey Macy. Michelle Ovali. Lauren Patton. Kevin Pointer. Luke H. Robbins. William Francis Ryan. Michael Spooner. Marissa Vallada. Angel Manuel Vasquez. Matthew Stephen Donahue. Evan Isaac Koch. Fahad Abdul Rahman Al-Salah. Kimberly Cheyenne Bolden. Sierra Carhart. Arid Jackson Eddy. Ashley Ann Goebel. Jennifer Melissa Gomez. Jeppy August Hare. Francis Kinseng Lau. Anthony Rosado Minkela, Jacob Samuel Rigoni, Amanda Catherine Seemeyer, I ask the candidates to rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Communications candidates for the degree Master of Science.
Thank you, Dean Roush. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Science with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Move your tassels.
Ooh, you got to cheer. All right, so congratulations to the graduates from the School of Communications. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lynn Byers, who is the Dean of the School of Computing and Engineering, and Dr. Corey Cassatt, who's the Associate Dean, to introduce the candidates for degree.
I ask the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Cybersecurity to please approach the stage. Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Louise Bukis. Woody Ludolph DeHady. Caitlin Gallo. Robert Lodadio. John Luke Roslin. I will now read the names of those candidates participating virtually. Sharif Abdulmanam Ahmed. Jillian Biasadi. O'Neill Anthony Carty. John Francis Crean. Metal Dewick. Adam Robert Kane. Camilla Lemos. Cassandra Ann Levin. Cassandra Ann Levin is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence in Master of Science in Cybersecurity. David Edward Longstreet. Tazadi McKenzie. And Kevin Steve Sangarima.
I think they're back to their seats. I ask the candidates to please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Computing and Engineering candidates for the degree Master of Science in Cybersecurity.
Thank you, Dean Byers. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Cybersecurity with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
All right, many congratulations to the cybersecurity graduates. Are there some teachers in the house? All right. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the School of Education, Ann Deschelle, and the Associate Dean, Beth Larkin-Strathy, to present the candidates for degrees.
I ask the candidates for the degree of Masters of Arts in Teaching to please approach the stage. We're going to begin with the elementary education. Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Jimmy Alvarado. Catherine Mary Aylward. Katerina Marie Bonanno. Jessica Lisa Boxer. Delaney Frances Brown. Morgan Brown. Alyssa Nicole Capristo. Ashley Elizabeth Clark. Kayla Anita DeSico. Brittany Nicole DeFreitas. Caitlin Ann DeLay. Maria Rita Dillon. Tracy Kimberly Duff. Emily Joan Epley. Emily Lauren Flanagan. Taylor Elizabeth Gambella. Sydney Elizabeth Jardina. Autumn Angel Gray. Courtney Marie Hall. Marissa Gemelli. Jamian John Baptiste. Erin Nicole Jones. That's okay. Ingrid Kenya. Giovanna LaBarbera. Jana Catherine Laser. Jamie Shea Lennon. Renee Rose Lynch. Shivani Kavita Mandavili. Kayla Faith Mason. Molly Louise Mastriani. Jessica Erin Matesis. Amanda Lee McCarney. Jenna Rose Mealy. Meredith Miller. Gwendolyn Taylor Maloney. Devin Ada Murphy. Nicholas Jacob Palumbo. Rebecca Lucille Powers. Jordan Carey Rifkin. Rebecca Louise Root. Brittany Faith Rose. Dana Jennifer Rosenberg. Riley Ann Runfola. Megan Elizabeth Ryan. Courtney Michelle Sauer. Kelly Jennifer Schaefer. Sabrina Jacqueline Scorsese. Kayla Rose Sicca. Paige Elizabeth Wessel. Samantha Rose Williams. Monica Zisk. Next, I call forward the candidates for the Masters of Arts in Teaching, Secondary Education. Christopher John Fuso, Alexander Daniel Bittis, Thomas Liam Comery Warren, Victoria Ann DeGrouche, Zachary Dubois, Robert Justin Ellis, Jada Marie Ellison, Victoria Rose Franklin, Paul Jacob Harmon, Megan Elizabeth Kelly, Kimberly Lee Lockwood, Asia S. Mateen, Daniela Rose Matusik, Megan Grace McClenahan, Ellery Ann Riccio, Mitchell Shavazian, Christy Ann Smith, Kelsey Patricia Sullivan, Jessica Margaret Talaricio, Bailey K. Toon, Matthew Hassan Tavia, Enrique Velez, Victoria Eileen Ward, Richard Martin Williams, I will now read the names of those candidates participating virtually. Caitlin Elizabeth Vignon, Alexander John Overzat, Brianna Nicole Gore, Allison Marie Rothke, Caitlin Marie Flanagan.
They all seated? We'll wait till you're seated. Or don't sit. I ask the candidates to rise. Hey. Go School of Ed. All right, Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Education candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching.
Dean Deschelle, thank you. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, our graduates, the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and move your tassels. Fantastic.
I ask the candidates for the degree of Master of Science to please approach the stage. We will begin with instructional design. Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Nicholas Cifarelli. Alexandria Elizabeth Holmes. Yuletsi Nirbala. Alexandra Marie Patrick. Brian Keith Shelton. Kelsey Marie Weigert. Allison Marie McCrossan. Next, I call forward special education candidates. Martin All Jelly. Alyssa Berry. Jordan Brangy. Quatisha Brown. Jesse James Calla. Emma Rose Lynch. Julia Eleanor Morse. Molly E. O'Neill. Sarah Catherine Phelps. Julia Ann Marie Pisani. Janine Elizabeth Riley. Alexander Todd Mead Sled. Natalie Claire Ruhl. Samantha Lee Stevenson. Hi, good to see you. Kimberly Rachel Fumbach. I will now read the names of the candidates participating virtually. Alyssa Deanna Cruz. Ryan Marie Duffy. Jake Louis Herrera. Sarah Kate Herrick. Betsy Honeychurch. Lisa Nicole Jennings. Thomas Scott Kinton. Diane Magnuson. Allison Marie McCrossan. Amy Elizabeth McKenna. Angela Marie Malas. Christy Lynn Newman. Paul Pascaretta. Rebecca Peltz. Wendy Pina Rojas. Cornelius Percy Jr. Jennifer Perkins. Kevin Michael Redmond. Luke Rosnick. Julian Rothstein. Nikki Tibbett. Stephanie L. West. Christine Marie Wright. Amanda Lynn Bartone. Michael Dominic Bartone. Stephanie Benson. Amy Elizabeth Carlson. Amanda DeCaminata. That was the hard one. Amelia June DeLuco. Jessica Latstein. Christina Medina. Jonah Payon. Brittany Irene Schmaltz. Alexandra Gramacki. Cynthia Rose Lerman. Marnie Levitt. Alyssa Iwaneski. Caitlin May Kimball.
I ask the candidates to please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Education candidates for the degree Master of Science.
Thank you, Dean Deschelle. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, our graduates, the degree of Master of Science with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and move your tassels.
Next, I call forward the 6-year diploma in educational leadership to please approach the stage. Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Pasquale Cariglio. Caitlin Cecilia DeMoss. Kimberly Jankowitz. Sarah Kaminsky. Emily Mallon. Erica J. Pandolfi. Kayla Elizabeth Sanford. Rebecca Michelle Wilson. Kimberly Winfield. I will now read the names of the candidates participating virtually. Amy LaChance Chrisman, Jenna L. DeRosa, Danielle Drazen, Christine M. Grady, Lindsay Hansen, Sabine Januski, Casey Lynn Maraglino, Lori Ann Moses, Tanner C. Monroe, Victoria Jane Napolitano, Lauren Elizabeth Olson, Carly Rising, Jennifer Ann Richards, Leonard A. Rotigliano, Maria Christina Ryan, Hillary Singer, Michael James Sorodiak, Andrew Tamero, Nathaniel Paul Testrout, Asia Thompson, Heidi Lee Valla, Lindsay Watson, and Sherry Witherall.
May I ask the candidates for the degree of 6th year diploma in education to please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Education candidates for the degree 6th year diploma in educational leadership.
Thank you, Dean Deschelle. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of 6th year diploma in educational leadership with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and you may move your tassels. Thank you, Anne.
All right. How about a general congratulations to all the graduates from the School of Education? All right. So, health sciences, you ready? I'd say that's pretty resounding. It's my pleasure to call forward Dr. Janelle Chisera, who is the Dean of the School of Health Sciences, to present the candidates for degrees.
I ask the candidates for degree Master of Health Science to please approach the stage. We will begin with advanced medical imaging and leadership. Kylie Danielle Acker. Madison Alexandria Calby. Kayla Ann Evans. Julia Fazina. Isabel Valentina Schmidt. Samantha Grace Seneco. Samantha is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award, Advanced Medical Imaging and Leadership. Caitlin Elizabeth Young. Next, I call forward biomedical sciences candidates. Oluwajoba Akiyimi. Alexis Jenna Alberti, sorry. Sharday Bianca Brown. Guneet Berman. Siddharth Rajan. Josephine Jemima Quay. Inedima Unity Ike Asag. Lois Oguchi Onuwama. Nyla Camille Eloise Merritt. Stephanie Perez. Ryan Matthew Purdy. Kaylee Christine Carmody. Caitlin Renee Castell. Sarah Nicole Chartier. Sarah is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award, Master of Health Science, Biomedical Sciences. Joshua Blake Connor. Austin Alexander Diodario. Tabora Amida. Rosa Gabriela Carpio Arias. Nube Fajardo. Sarah Rose Gershom. Danielle Kelly. Matthias Kriesen. Bethany Hauscher. Nicholas Isaac. Tiffany Kiako. Seth Xavier Lorenza. Taylor Nicole Lisovic. Allison Amanda Moss. Nicholas Albert Matajewski. Okay. Melanie Rose Mancini. Mika Alexandra Maples. Hector Emmanuel Rivas. Nicholas Cole Shiner. Melissa Tanya Solomon. Emily J. Taylor Stewart. Sarah Danielle Tamarkin. Rebecca Grace Vangsness. Andrew Jason Voter. Next, I call forward cardiovascular perfusion candidates. Harold Christopher Fisher. Justin Thomas Fish. Michelle Christine McArdle. Natia Mateo Sharma. Natia is the recipient of the William B. Schaffner Jr. Award. Ashley Nicole Stabley. Nancy Theinart. Next, I call forward pathologist assistance candidates. Ooh, it's okay. Brianna Abel. Oh, Brenna Abel, I'm sorry. Savannah Monique Brown. Brittany Braun Cotter. Megan Amber Daly. Valeria Echeverry. Christopher Jacob Evans. Andrea Elizabeth Ferrigno. Jessica Jar. Marina Kem. Nicole Lemelin. Courtney Mann. Ava Milinarski. Mike Corey Montague. Congratulations. Kenny Thomas Nguyen. Monique Parrish. Jordan Nicole Ray. Randall Paul Rickey. Chandley Stratton. Jessica Texara. Thank you. Carrie Washington. Kayla Christine Wolven. Next, I call forward physician assistant candidates. Thank you. Brett Ronald Barnes. Xenia Lee Baumert. Okay. Robert William Bernardera Jr. Jacqueline Patricia Berolini. Amanda May Bidgen. Amanda is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award, Master of Health Science, Physician Assistant. Daniel Bowens. Alyssa Brana. David James Cooper. Kelsey Anita Coughlin. Morgan Elizabeth Devlin. Nicole Maya Damaso. Simon Cantor Ebbett. Erin Elizabeth Fahey. Emily Ann Gagliardo. Turner William Geistart. Jenna Madeleine Julie Goebel. Karishma Deepak Harjani. Jessica Heath. Shay Hickey. Lauren Elizabeth Holzer. Emily Catherine Kennington. Kirsten Rachel Kenny. Carly Ray Klimek. Christopher David Knipe. Molly Ann Lacasse. Daniel William Landino. Dylan Dominic Latella. Austin Keith Lipsy. Amelia Maurer. Kellyanne McClenahan. Lee Elizabeth Murphy. Raisa Oliveira. Antoinette Marie Rosselello. Catherine Elizabeth Sapienza. Julia Elizabeth Saleo. Elizabeth Noel Songer. Eliza Kirsten Stacy. Emily May Teeple. Justin Lee Vo. Allison Marie Wick. Nicole Marie Wolf. Oh. Alexa J. Zavinis. Next, I call forward radiologist assistant candidates. Thank you. James Dominic Basher. Thank you. Nicole Ann Zaleski. I will now read the names of those participating virtually. Daniela Marie Columbia, Erin Eileen Arcoit, Lorinda Dampari Asante, Jasim Alexander De Palermo, Adafuseo Filayo, Hannah Rose Gill, Joy Rebecca Kochko, Carolina Lemos, Catherine Mariana Ludigan, Alexandra Margarita Maghair, Tori Lynn Pasco, Melanie Kate Sajad, Zenip Ugar, Talimale Fo'i Danica Mauga Valfonua, Irving Casamawapa, Emmeline Catherine Cunaves, Elizabeth Mary Michael, Yesenia Milan, Haley Eunice Stiles, Dominique Gillan Ersini, Sarah Adair Bowler, Timothy Collins, Rebecca Gotthelf, William Kelsey, Kathleen Knox, Jen Ling Nie, Cameron Brooks Redmond, Johanna Rose Sullivan, Elizabeth Ray Tavares, and Victor Eli Vasquez. I ask the candidates to please rise. Madam President, I have the distinct honor to present from the School of Health Science candidates for the degree Master of Health Science.
And thank you, Dean Chisera. And before I confer the degree, I'm sending out a public service reminder as the sun shines. Please remember to hydrate yourselves, and if you need, go to the shade, please. So, graduates, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Health Science with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. You may move your tassels.
I ask the candidates for the degree of Master of Occupational Therapy to please approach the stage. Spiridula Chrysanthi Andreu. Gabriella Francis Angeletti. Brianna Faith Azzopardi. Brianna R. Belcero. Samantha Brooke Barnaby. Elizabeth Ashley Bilodeau. Ashley Nicole Bohm. Luke Daniel Bowerman. Bridget Maureen Breslin. Erin Teresa Bright. Alexis Lynn Brinklow. Emily Marie Brown. Marissa Lynn Bruno. Claire Walsh Burke. Claire is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award, Entry-Level Master of Occupational Therapy. Carly Maureen Cantwell. Michaela Renee Karen. Heather Ann Cheeseman. Megan Marie Christman. Kayla Ann Cicero. Shannon Nicole Clark. Madison Claire Constantine. Brianna Marie Corns. Brittany Ray Del Mundo. Taylor Nicole DeMarco. Molly Shannon Doherty. Rianne Nicole Dong. Marissa Lynn Donnelly. Amanda Rose Downtain. Adelaide Tandaway Ellis. Lindsay Grace Eichman. Lizabeta Abigail Feynman. Gianna Rose Valletta. Kelsey Elizabeth Fallon. Christina Elizabeth Garcia. Hannah Jo Gassaway. Cecilia Marie Gibbs. Lee Ann Jaffoe. June Agnes Jahuli. Brianna Giordano. Kayla Giuliano. Brooke Victoria Hagan. Thank you. Callan Taylor Harris. Shayna Christine Holloran. Rachel Holton. Colleen Janet Houston. Bridget Christine Hubbard. Olivia Rose Hines. Jillian Paige Katz. Caitlin Elizabeth Kelly. Michaela Lauren Kessler. Madison Rose Nibbs. Alyssa Marie Lamagna. Stephanie F. Langevin. Julia Marie Licio. Zoe Catherine Lyons. Samantha Marie Maseko. Alexandra Joy Mendera. Juliana Mary Manone. Morgan Emily Martinson. Meredith Maud. Danielle Alyssa McCall. Katrina Meny. Alyssa Ramey Minor. Marissa Angelina Mobilia. Alexandra Grace Muzio. Megan Denise Nolan. Caroline Yolanda Parker. Gabrielle Patino. Jennifer Quigley. Krista Ann Riley. Madeline Elizabeth Rufinot. Emily Frances Salisbury. Alexis Jade Silverstein. Jenna Marie Cinco. Emily Mary Spillane. Megan Chase Tipping. Jacob Ryan Tosi. Emily Virginia Trahan. Stephanie Taylor Vanasco. Alicia Marie Weinrich. Jessica Danielle Weinstein. Avery Taylor Weiss. Killeen Williams. Jessica Karen Winstanley. Leah Woods Bannon. Morgan Yeager. Sasha Shurovsky. Allison Marie Ziebelfarb. I will now read the names of those participating virtually. Amanda Lauren Baker, Crystal Ann Brighton, Emily Brown, Gabrielle Buckman, Colleen Mary Martin, Caitlin Rose McHenry, and Renee Saltness. I ask the candidates for degree Master of Occupational Therapy to please stand. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Health Sciences candidates for the degree Master of Occupational Therapy.
Dean Chair Sarah. Dean Chair Sarah, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, our graduates, the degree of Master of Occupational Therapy with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I ask the candidates for degree of Master of Social Work, please approach the stage. Social work, correct? Giancarlo Bravo. Julia Marie Coppola. Jenna Marie Dearborn. Jesse Eady. Matthew Brennan Fisher. Lorena Alessandra Fortunato. Sarah Elizabeth Garvey. Joanna Jacqueline Gendro. Sierra Gonzalez. Jessica Guivos. Kayla Hanberry. Beatrice Simpasa. Erin McManus. Taryn Rose Nelson. Kelly Ann O'Brien. Scott Christopher Raffone Jr. Nahian Rashid. Elizabeth Teresa Rodriguez. Carmela Teag. Emily Isabella Vanaz. Emily Sarah Varisis. Emily is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award, Master of Social Work. I'll now read those who are participating virtually. Brian Matthew Elliott, Sierra Gonzalez, Marjorie Ann Richardson, Brittany White. I ask the candidates to please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Health Sciences candidates for the degree Master of Social Work.
Dean Chair Sarah, thank you. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, our graduates, the degree of Master of Social Work with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and move your tassels.
I'd like to invite forward Dr. Barbara Nadeau and Dr. Kim Hartman, faculty from the Occupational Therapy Program, who will be hooding our candidates today. I ask the candidates for the degree Occupational Therapy Doctorate to please approach the stage. Thank you. Jennifer Ann Bartis Early. Jacqueline Marie Callow. Lindsay Carter. Sorry. Catherine Marie Chinisi. Jennifer Elizabeth Featheringham. Whitney Lee Garrison. Whitney is the recipient of the Post-Professional Doctor of Occupational Therapy Achievement Award. Emily Ann Hartnett. Danielle Elise Helminger. Mercy Jim Kelly. Kelly Clampert. Paylin Emily Quo. Donabelle Lorenzo. Alexa Lynn Molinari. Erin Beatrice Rivette. Mariella Sika. Chelsea Campo Taylor. Maria Teresa Zock. Okay. I ask the candidates to please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Health Sciences candidates for the degree Occupational Therapy Doctorate.
Thank you, Dean Chiesera. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, our graduates, the degree of Occupational Therapy Doctorate with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I'd like to invite Dr. Tracy Wall and Dr. Ken Kosher forward. Faculty from the PT program who will be hooding our candidates today. I ask the candidates for the degree Doctor of Physical Therapy, please approach the stage. Rachel Elizabeth Bellis Tracy. Leanna Michelle Bean. Jenna Marie Bell. Janelle Marie Berry. Alexis Ray Bissonette. Brian Christopher Bame. Gianna Catherine Braco. Melissa Lily Kananakiko, thank you. Jessica Carlone. Melissa Ann Kennelly. Matthew DaCosta. Drew Evan Da Silva. Victoria Karen De La Rosa. Victoria is the recipient of the Gaylord Specialty Health Course Scholarship. Carly Nicole Delamonico. Justin Delgado. Christina Marie DePaulis. Gregory Richard Diem. Christopher Brian Doss. Anne Claire Dumas. Caitlin Kalina Dumont. Nadia Luba Filippic. Elizabeth Teresa Foy. Elizabeth Ann Freeman. Renee Lynn Gallant. Sierra Rose Gelsamini. Maxime Simone Giesem. Haley Nicole Guaracino. Brandon Charles Hadkey. Alexis Virginia Hardesty. Rachel Elizabeth Harris. Amy Hauser. Allison Nicole Hickey. Ryan Joseph Hicks. Devin Taylor Igo. Claire Patricia Johannesson. Brittany Sage Kearney. Alexander John Ketterer. Finn Michael LaPierre. Rory Ann Lavery. Kelly Elizabeth Leach. Emily Franklin Ledyard. Addison Charles Lee. Jacqueline Elizabeth Lamano. Olivia Rachel McGuire. Nicole Ann Mawerder. Nicole is the recipient of the Mark Tansorsky Memorial Award. Alexa Christine McHugh. Kylie Elizabeth McKiergan. Brianne Patrice Miller. Caroline Ann Montera. Aiden Patrick Morley. Bryce George Knowles. Casey L. Neubauer. Kelly C. O'Brien. Sabrina Christine Palma. Nicole Mary Pia. Michaela Margaret Potter. Kyla May Prosper. David Michael Quinn, Jr. Erin Elizabeth Redding. Mia Elise Reich. Joseph Carl Ravel. Madison Nancy Root. Sierra Ellen Ryan. Ariana Mercedes Savarino. Jake Anthony Scalfano. Haley Ann Schaefer. Hope Sarah Schlegel. Megan Grace Scullen. Lauren Shanley. Emily Rose Shriegest. Julianne Noel Smith. Jasmine Ariel Solomon. Christopher John Stankiewicz Jr. Celia Steicher Pearl. Colin Robert Stevenson. Michael Stothko. Taylor Rose Tango. Annalisa Termini. Andrew Edward Thane. Hannah Tisser. Justin Matthew Tushoff. Stephen Wesley Valdez. Gianna Nicole Vasallo. Gianna Juliet Volpe. Shane Ryan Wonderly. Shane is the recipient of the Gaylord Specialty Healthcare Scholarship Award. Riley Murphy Zajac. Zong Ju. I'll now read the names of those participating virtually. William Cutrone, Ryan Christopher McConville, Zaya Oshana, Sarah Passaretti, Rachel Samsey, and Julia Wood. I ask the candidates to please rise. Madam President.
At the starting block. Look at that.
Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Health Sciences candidates for the degree Doctor of Physical Therapy.
Thank you, Dean Chiesera. And to our very enthusiastic and deserving graduates. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and move your tassels.
All right, School of Health Sciences. Congratulations. All right, you can now sit. And certainly, here we are, last but absolutely not least. Let's hear it for the School of Nursing. It is my privilege to introduce Dr. Lisa O'Connor, who is the Dean of the School of Nursing, in order to introduce the candidates for degree.
All right, go nursing. Woo! Come on. I ask the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Nursing to please approach the stage. Marshals, direct them to the platform. Allison Marie Baker. Melissa Lee Calabresi. Victoria Ann Capucha. Teresa Castillejo. Amy Elizabeth Culkins. Conchetta Christina Criscola. Brianna Lee Durante. Ashley Elizabeth Durkin. Liza Ferrante. Niakale Kamara. Alexandra L. Gunter. Raven Cherie Jones. Valerie Ann Lucas. Kathleen Romano. Madeline Rose McCarthy. Bridget Elise Meadow. Elise Adria Miller. Krupa Modi. Nicole Antoinette Montalto. Heidi Mortel. Doris Yu Oku. Artina Pippa. Elizabeth Porzio. Jennifer Ray. Daniela Signorello. Megan Spring Smith. Jalinda Talho Fonseca. Chelsea Latrice Wilson. Megan Constance Woodruff. I'd like to now read the names of those participating virtually. Kayla Lynn Allen. Amanda Diane Reardon Anderson. Maria Juliana Arbeliz Linero. Michelle Marlou Bayruther. Kelly A. Brennan. Heather Arquette Cosby. Kimberly Colleen Critchie. Christopher Patrick D'Amato. Anthony Michael Denos. Elizabeth Joan Donovan. Alexandra E. Ford. Alyssa Marie Gambardella. Kathleen M. Garcia. Anya Gunderson. Bo La Kim. Alexa Marie Lombardo. Michael Edward Mazeko. Laura Caroline McKee. Stephanie Milano. Lauren Teresa Mosick. Amy Marie Moynihan. Jillian Elizabeth Newton. Jeanette Pace. Alana Pearlstein. Alana Pearlstein is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award, Master of Science in Nursing. Kelly Rayan. Anisha Reeves. Cambria Reed. Matthew Christopher Regan. Anna Conway Rodas. Amanda Wagner. Colleen Mary Wilcox. I'd ask the candidates for the Master of Science degree to please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present from the School of Nursing for the degree of Master of Science in Nursing candidates.
Thank you, Dean O'Connor. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, our graduates, the degree of Master of Science in Nursing, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I now invite Dr. Karita Check and Dr. Susan Lynch, our faculty, who will be participating in the hooding. I ask the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice to please approach the stage. We will begin with adult gerontology nurse practitioner candidates. Audra Maria Catania. Keisha Monique Murphy. Next, I will call forward the Care of Populations candidates. Samson Loriwahu Orabamu. Come on up, folks. Bolanli T. Amon. Esther Ann Heiken. Peter Magri. Peter Magri Jr. is the recipient of the Holistic Nursing Practice Award. Jacqueline A. Gordon Hopwood. Cavell Sakina Miller. Mary Jo Michael Holleran. Amy Brown Smith. Lynn Marie Smith. Claire Leota Scott. Patricia A. Spellman Foley. Hillary Caitlin Sullivan. I next call forward the family nurse practitioner candidates. Lindsay Cafano. Lauren Elizabeth Crow. Itoro Joseph Atim. Anne Loretta Hall. Jordana Max Kellick. Jordana Max Kellick is the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award, Doctor of Nursing Practice. Christina Elpida Lillywhite. Cameron Lee Maselli. Carolyn Marie Miner. Allison Michelle Mullings. Alphonse Louis Paolillo. Ingrid Stringer. Trisha Varholak. Next, I call forward the nurse anesthesia candidates. Marielle James Andes. Samantha Lee Anzalone. Caitlin Margaret Bonser. Kara Elizabeth Cahill. Tyler Lee Hajar. Moises Estranoza. Jihei Alex Lee. Emily L. Price. Julie Warham Sim. Alexander Philip Tridy. Brianna Ferruzza Tridy. Anthony James Venuti. Volnette Zaku. Next, I call forward the nursing leadership candidates. Melissa Amicone. Sharifa Bello. Fiona Margaret Bruno. Mary C. Christofferson. Karen M. Conway. Alice Hillebrand. Manda Hosen. Dawn Catherine Lawyer. Ifoma Chinolo Mogor. Jessica Christina Munoz. Mary Catherine Solomon. Jennifer S. Wedgie. Stephanie McEnany. Haley Jackson. And Shannon Rose O'Neill. I will now read the candidates who are participating virtually. Valerie Jean Christie. Helen McManus Papeka. Doreen Ann Picagli. Joanna Yosanis Tomasic. Grace Adabukola Obukunrin. Gail Bolduc. Anna Marie Brompton. Neethu Gobanad. Natasha Ramrup. Amber J. Robinson. Samantha Shawn Marsh. I ask the candidates to please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present to you from the School of Nursing candidates for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice.
Thank you, Dean O'Connor. And to our graduates, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. You may move your tassels. Congratulations.
All right, nursing graduates, congratulations. I asked Gina Doherty, who is the president of the Alumni Board Association Board, to come forward and deliver a quick welcome and to the now alum.
Thank you. May I ask all the graduates still here to please rise? Yes! It is my honor to stand before you as a member of the class of 1994 and as president of the Alumni Association Board. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to move your tassel to the left of your cap. This simple act signifies your transition from student to alumnus and the continuation of your unique, meaningful, and lifelong relationship with Quinnipiac. I'm especially pleased to call you all alumni. You are a Bobcat for life. Congratulations.
All right, so you've all officially graduated. Woo! All right, we will have a recessional. Again, for those of you who are still here, you will exit to the left up on Pat Way. But on behalf of the Board of Trustees, President Olean, the faculty and staff of Quinnipiac University, we offer our congratulations to the class of 2022.